Welcome to Brainbits TV. This is gonna be a brand new day and a brand new episode of this channel. And today is gonna be a brand new episode, and we'll focus more on how we're going to prevent the transmission of this coronavirus or the COVID-19 for human-to-human transmission. So we'll focus more on the tips and how are we going to prevent this virus from being transmitted. It's because, of course, prevention is better than cure. So this episode is going to focus on that note. And of course, before that, let's have this first. And of course, today is as what I promised. This is going to be a brand new episode, and of course, this Brainblitz TV, nursing in 15 minutes. What's in must come out, and what's out must come in. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a brand new episode. And of course, as promised, we'll focus more on the tips on how to prevent the transmission of this coronavirus or the COVID-19 for human-to-human transmission. Of course, this is gonna be very important because it's better to have prevention first before having cure, or it's better to prevent the disease, or prevention is better than cure. Okay, and of course, for us to easily understand the prevention or tips on preventing this coronavirus to happen to humans, of course, I made a mnemonics for us to easily understand that, and that's gonna be coronavirus. CORONAVIRUS. That's coronavirus. It stands for coronavirus. Of course, let's start with letter C. Letter C is casual and regular performance of hand washing. So it is very important for us to remember that hand washing is still the best way for us to get rid of the transmission of this coronavirus. And at the same time, it will be very important for us to remember that when we perform hand washing, it has to be 15 to 20 seconds only. And of course, it is with the use of antiseptic soap with running water. And this is gonna be one way for us to remember that hand washing is very important. It serves as our universal precaution. Okay, that is letter C. Okay, that's gonna be letter C, casual or regular hand washing performance. Let's have now letter O. Letter O stands for observe for the emergence of signs and symptoms. Okay, since this is a viral infection, it means that most commonly patients will have symptoms of increase in temperature, or there will be possibility of fever or hyperthermia. So it will be very important for us to remember that if there will be presence of these flu-like symptoms in us, it will be our responsibility to seek medical attention immediately. It's because we have to make sure that we have to prevent the disease from coming. Okay? And of course, next, the third one is we have letter R. Letter R stands for respiratory droplets avoidance, or respiratory droplet avoidance. It means to say that, of course, the virus is going to be transmitted through droplet, and so of course there were studies that were actually made stating that the virus is transmitted through airborne, but of course the main route of transmission is gonna be droplets. So it will be very important for us to get rid of the possibilities that there will be transmission of this respiratory droplets within us. Of course, we have to avoid contact with this one. And of course, letter O is oftenly used hand sanitizer. So it will be very important, aside from performing hand washing, it will also be very important for us to have our own sanitizer. It's because this sanitizer will actually be of help, especially in getting rid of the possibility that this virus is going to be transmitted from individuals to individuals who are being infected with the COVID-19. And of course, letter N is no to handshakes, and of course no to hugs. It's because handshaking and hugging is actually one way of getting in contact with the virus. It's because probably we have to have contact with these individuals who have been infected with the coronavirus. That's letter N. And of course, letter A, to complete the corona, letter A is avoid crowded places, and at the same time, avoid going to places where events, or probably these events, are very crowded. It's because we don't know who are those people who are in contact with us. So we have to make sure that we get rid of the possibilities that we are in contact with those infected individuals, especially with this corona or COVID-19. So we have completed already the corona. Letter C stands for casual or regular performance of hand washing. Letter O stands for observe for emergence of signs and symptoms of the virus or the infection. Letter R, respiratory droplets avoidance. Letter O, oftenly used hand sanitizer. Letter N, no to handshakes and hugs. And letter A, avoid crowded places or events with a lot of people coming in. Of course, we've completed the first word, corona. Let's continue now with the word virus. Letter V stands for vegetables and fruits for nutrition. So it will be very important for us to remember that we have to improve the function of our immune system, because of course our greatest defense is going to be our immune system. We have to make sure that there has to be something that we are to eat, especially in order to boost the functions of our immune system, because the immune system will actually help us in making sure that we are actually going to fight against possible infection. Then letter I, institute proper disposal of tissues. Institute proper disposal of tissues means that we have to make sure that these tissue papers that we're going to use, especially when we sneeze, when we cough, are properly disposed into its proper places. Like for example, this is gonna be an highly infectious thing or highly infectious material, so therefore we have to place that one in a yellow garbage bin or waste receptacle. And of course, letter R, regular use of vitamins, and of course, especially vitamin C, is because this is gonna be very important to boost the functions of our immune system. So this vitamin C is very important to make sure that we are responding towards, of course, we are responding properly towards probably being exposed with the virus. So there has to be regular use of this vitamin C. And of course, letter U for the virus word, letter U is use disposable mask. So when you say use disposable mask, it means that mask must not be reused. So we have to dispose the mask after we are using that one. So that's gonna be letter U. And of course, letter S is secure self before others. So it will be very important for us to make sure that we are actually being we prevent ourselves first from being infected with the infection or with the virus itself. Okay, so it will be very important for us to get rid from these people who have been infected. So therefore it will be very important for us to avoid crowded places. So to recap, of course, the word virus is V stands for vegetables and fruits for immune system function. Letter I stands for institute proper disposal of tissue papers or anything that we use for after coughing and sneezing. Letter R, regular use of vitamins and minerals, especially vitamin C, because this is going to be very important for us to have to prevent the virus from getting inside our body. And of course, letter U, use of disposable mask. It's one way of course, this will be your personal protective equipment. And of course, letter S is secure yourself before others. To recap our tips for the prevention of this coronavirus or COVID-19, of course, we have the Mnemonics coronavirus. CORONAVIRUS. Let's again have letter C. Letter C stands for casual and regular performance of hand washing. Letter O stands for observe emergence of signs and symptoms of the virus. Letter R stands for respiratory droplet avoidance. Letter O stands for letter O stands for oftenly used hand sanitizer. Then letter N stands for no to handshakes and hugs. And then of course letter A stands for avoid crowded places and events with lots of people. Letter V stands for vegetables and fruits for immune system function. Letter I stands for institute proper disposal of tissue papers or any discharges or anything that we use, especially when you sneeze and we cough. And of course, letter R stands for regular use of vitamins and minerals, especially for vitamin C. Then letter U stands for use of disposable mask. And of course, letter S stands for secure self before others. Okay, so those were the tips that is going to be focusing more on the prevention of the transmission of this coronavirus or the COVID-19, and I hope that you have been informed with some of the tips that will be useful for our daily undertakings. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. This has been Brain Blitz TV. Nursing in 15 minutes, what's in must come out and what's out must come in. Thank you so much for your continued support, and of course, thank you so much also for those who avidly viewed my videos, and of course, for those who are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and of course, don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with my succeeding videos in the future. Thank you so much for now. Bye-bye. See you next time.